Hello. I just wanted to do a quick video here about the camera I've been using lately. So when I first started my YouTube channel, I was using a crusty old webcam.
Hello.
And then switched over to the Sony ZV-1, which is like a little pocket camera that's got a, a lens like built into the body, so it's a really small camera. Um, and it was good. It's a really good camera. I still use that camera. It's fun, it's light, it's tiny, it's smaller than my cell phone, so that's always a plus. But about a year ago, I got a full frame camera, and that's the Sony ZV-E1, and that's the one I'm using actually right now for this video. And right now I'm using the internal microphone just so you can hear what that sounds like. So usually with this camera, when I'm at home, I'll be using an external microphone, and if I'm going to like a guitar store, I'll use my special shotgun microphone for the better sound quality. But when I'm walking around and stuff like that, I'm usually just using the onboard microphone, which this camera has a fantastic onboard microphone, which I'm using right now. So what you're hearing is me on the onboard microphone of the ZV-E1, and I'm using the Sony 20-70G f4 lens. So I got an f4 background right now. It's not very blurry, but it's good enough for most stuff. This lens is actually really good for video. I do have a prime lens, which is a 35 1.8, which is really nice. I usually take this one out though when I'm going out because of the 20mm wide range, so it allows me to handhold the camera and just get a nice view of my surroundings. It's kind of messy in here right now because we're moving. This is probably going to be one of the last videos I'll be making in this apartment. Alright, I'll be back 1 second. Alright, we're back here. I'm still using the onboard microphone, and the camera is actually maybe like 2 arm lengths away from me now. So the onboard microphone is not going to sound very good. So let me fix that for you here in 1 second, and we'll be back, and the sound will be much better. All right. Hi, I'm back. So now I've got a microphone very close to my mouth. The sound quality is going to be obviously leagues better than when I had the onboard microphone super far away. But if I'm holding the camera really close to my face, the onboard microphone is great. So it's actually really good for vlogging. You can take this camera out and not even bring in an extra microphone, because if you're doing most of your stuff up close, it's going to be amazing sound quality. And I believe it even does record in stereo because it has 3 capsules, 1 in the back and 2 in the front. And I think it can resolve a stereo image. From what my testing, it seems like it's a stereo recording, which is something you can't do with a single shotgun microphone. But another thing I wanted to talk about, more so than the microphones, is using the dynamic active stabilization on the ZV-E1, or ZV-E1 as we say in Canada. The dynamic active stabilization and using Sony's Catalyst Browse, both of these require you to have a high shutter speed, which is something I did not know before. So I recorded a bunch of footage that I wanted to make a video, and I recorded it all with no stabilization so that I could stabilize it and post with Catalyst Browse, because it looks buttery smooth when you do it right. The unfortunate thing is I had my shutter speed too low, So I'll show you an example. It's going to just show up on the screen here. You'll see that I'm walking through a forest and it just gets really messy and blurry, lots of artifacts in the image. And that's because the shutter speed I had was too low. It was like maybe a shutter speed of like 80 or 100, maybe even 150. And I thought that was high enough because usually I'm recording at a shutter speed of 60 just to double the frame rate, which is 30. I usually record in 4K 30, so to double that frame rate for the shutter speed to have smooth motion blur, you'd go at 60 frames per second, 60 shutter speed. But the shutter speed was higher than that, and it was still very blurry footage. And I think it has to do with the amount of shake that was going on because I was walking holding the camera. So I have another clip here I'm going to show right now, and that's me using the same camera, so the ZV-E1 with the 20-70 set to 20 millimeters, and I had the shutter speed at about like 800 to 1000. And you can tell in this footage here now just how much smoother it looks, and it's not choppy at all. It's not getting all those artifacts like the previous video. So in case you're a new user or you're wondering if this camera is good, it is amazing to use. You just have to be aware that if you're using dynamic active stabilization or trying to stabilize it in post using Catalyst Browse, for both of these, you want to have the shutter speed at least 500, if not higher, and you'll get nice smooth footage here. I have some clips of me using the dynamic active stabilization, so I'll show you that here, and then you can just see how smooth that looks. I personally think the dynamic active stabilization is pretty much good enough to use if you just want it that extra little bit more buttery smooth and you don't mind doing a little bit of extra work. What you can do is just turn the stabilization off completely on the camera. Make sure your shutter speed is at least above 500, and then you can use Catalyst Browse in post and then get really smooth looking footage. It looks like it was shot on a gimbal, and you didn't have to pay, $300 or $400 for a gimbal, which is great because a lot of us spent all our money on a camera instead. So, yeah. All right, so while we're talking about this ZV-E1 camera, I'll show you a few photographs that I've taken with this camera because I wasn't sure if this camera was going to be good for photography or not, and I'm pleased to say that this camera captures amazing looking photographs. It has a sort of a filmic quality to it. You could say the photographs are even cinematic, if you will, if you want to use that word. I know some people are frightened to use the word cinematic these days, but I have no fear in my heart. I can, and I will use that word. Trust me, cinematic is not going anywhere. All right, so let me know what you think of the footage. Let me know what you think of the photographs. Did you like the Sony ZV-E1? I think it's a fantastic camera, and I plan to continue using it, and I'll be buying more lenses for it in the future. So far, I just have the 20-70 f4 G and the 35 f1.8 prime, and those have been so very good so far for me, but I'm interested in trying other lenses. If you have any recommendations for lenses I should try, feel free to leave a comment down below.
Feel free to subscribe and like this video. I'm going to be posting more videos about moving and more videos about my music and more videos about microphone reviews, camera reviews, and things of that nature. And if that's something that sounds like a topic that you'd be interested in watching, feel free to watch more of my videos. I've got more music videos. I've traveled to Toronto and a few other places. So we have some cool videos for that kind of stuff. So please enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.